Welcome. Now we will work on edit item functionality. So here we will first go ahead and create our item field. So it will be of type item and we will have to initialize this with empty object. It's complaining. So what we'll do is make all these fields as optional for now. So this error will go away about initialization. Otherwise we need to initialize each of these in that object by putting some value. So we made all this as optional, so we don't have to initialize it. Otherwise, you have to mention ID colon empty. This colon that all the fields has to be initialized. So now we have the item. Then we will have the is submitting. The logic will be same, and then we will have the constructor. So we can get the constructor also. And in the constructor, we need to apply a logic where we will get the data from the route. So first we need to fix this. So we'll get the input. I will also take this sweet alert. We will need that. And one thing we have to do is also implements on init because we will need to load the data on the load. So I will say on init implements on init. Let's see why is it complaining. Let's check. We did this in the overview as well. Are we missing something? Implements. So it's implements. This is fine. We'll see. For now, let's focus on this. So we need to get our item or the ID from the route. So how we will get it from the route? So we need to inject the route and get it from the activated route. So activated route class will give us the current route. And what we will do is in the constructor itself, we will try to get that. As soon as the component gets created, we will try to get that. So we'll say this dot item equal to, we'll say object, and we'll say underscore id is this dot route which is we injected just now dot snapshot dot params. So we will get this data from the URL params. So we will in which key we will get it in id key. So we are passing it like this. If your name of the key is something else, you get it something with a something else name. So title as this and description as empty. So this is our constructor which is initializing our field. Perfect. And then we will have the on init. So we'll say ng on init, ng on init with the I capital. And then we will mention this as it will return void so let's see what is the problem here. This is here, class is this, perfect. So here we'll say this dot item service dot detail. So let's quickly check why it is giving error. So I think we have forgotten to import this. So let's quickly import it. So we go and refer to our overview component. So here we have it from the code that should be imported. So import the class, and now this is good. So then we will have the ng on init with a void, and this is the constructor, and outside the constructor actually we forgot to close the bracket of the constructor, so let's give that. So now this is good. So item dot detail, get item detail, that's the function we will call, and try to get the item detail data, and that we will get it from the, again this one will help us there. We'll copy it, paste it here, then we'll have then callback, and the then callback will return us with the response, and in the response we have to console log and see what we are getting. So console dot log of response. Similarly we will get the catch, so we'll say catch error, and we can just return the error, return error. So now we will go and try to see how this works. So this is then callback, this is this one. Looks like we have an extra bracket, so get rid of it. Sometimes we have to keep and check on the brackets. So now we go and try to see what is happening. So here we have argument of type number undefined is assignable, says. So let's quickly check, refresh, it's gone. Now we go to inspect, and then we try to do an edit. Let's see the console if the API was called. So what we'll do is we will, of course, this network tab, let's check the network tab if the API call is made. So we have the network, reload. Ideally on the load the API should have been called, but nothing gets called. So let's check what's going on. So we are on ng on init, get item detail. Let's put a debugger here. Ideally we are already getting this, so we should not be requiring a debugger, but what if we do a debugger here to see what ID are we getting. Reload. So we say items this 352 and the ID. So let's check the route. Items ID, and this is the one. So we should get the ID value in our edit component. Here we should get that. So we need to little bit debug why the value is not coming. So let's do the debugging in our next video. Thank you.